Good afternoon, buenas tardes, shalom, salam alaikum. You don't know how many languages more, but at least feel at home, because the house of the Lord, the house of God, is the house of all of us. Doesn't matter the congregation, doesn't matter the tradition. God is the same in one place or another. And for that reason, I want to give you the welcome to Corpus Christi Catholic Church. I am Father Jose Luis Menendez, the pastor of this parish, and the second president of PACT. Second. The first one is already buried. Okay, and then he cannot be here. And that happened so many years ago. And I was looking to you, and I was thinking 38 years ago, 37 years ago, 36, whatever, you know, that we start as PACT movement. And I was thinking the amount of you who are here. All kind of people, all kind of tradition, but all with the same intention to do the best for our society. That nobody can say to us that because we are Catholic, because Protestant, because we are Muslim, or because we are Jew, can say that we have an own agenda. But coming together is the agenda of God that has to pass through our work. And the needs of the people is the need of the sons and daughters of God. For that reason, we are here together, to fight together. When I was looking to you, I was thinking, oh my goodness, if any politician has the opportunity to have in his ballot all of you, he will win the place. But if they have all you enemies of that politician, they will lose the fight. We have the power of the unity. We have the power of coming together. If we continue in this way, we will do something good for our society. And it's needed, it's needed. Corpus Christi, when we started PACT, has a problem. We were in an area, Alapata, Wingwood, Edgewater, many years ago, that was corrupted by many crack houses. And we saw the crack houses. We saw the problem, and we come together. And all the other brothers and sisters from other communities come in our help. And we turn down that houses, and we take out that drug, and we come to be a better society. Now, when you go to Edgewater and you see, how wonderful, look at this place. That was prostitution and drugs. And because somebody fight, now it's Edgewater. Wingwood. Oh, come on, the last riot was in Wingwood. When they want to say that Wingwood was the old little San Juan, the Puerto Ricans say, no, put it the old San Vietnam. We don't want to be identified with this place. Now, because the people fight, is now Wingwood, now Midtown, because the people fight. Now it's Alapata. We have our problems, our difficulties, but when we come together and fight together, Alapata will come to be a better place. All depends of us. And for that reason, I want to welcome you, tell you that we have to continue fighting.
Good evening, PACT family. Good evening. I'm Reverend Charlene Stevens, the senior pastor of Ebenezer United Methodist Church, and I am your current PACT president. On behalf of our executive board members, we would like to welcome you and thank you for joining us tonight. As people acting for community together, we are democracy in action. PACT is democracy in action. At a time when so many across our country feel like our democratic institutions are weakening, when people feel unheard, unseen, and left out, PACT stands strong. We stand together to uphold the very democratic values upon which this nation was founded. Because democracy is not a spectator sport, it requires our participation. It requires courage, It requires perseverance. It requires all of us. Today, it is more important than ever to engage the disengaged, to encourage the discouraged, and to empower those who feel disempowered. That is the work of PACT. That is our calling. We come from different traditions, we speak different languages, we live in different neighborhoods, but we are united in one mission, and that mission is to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. We're not here simply to attend an event. We are living out our faith and putting our beliefs into motion. Because loving our neighbor means more than kind words. It means making sure our neighbors have safe housing. It means making sure our neighbors have mental health care, and we all live in communities where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. No matter what our faith is, we stand in a long line of leaders who refuse to accept injustice as normal. That should not be the status quo. Tonight's assembly is based on the work of the prophet Nehemiah, who saw the broken walls of Jerusalem and organized the people to rebuild it. It's based on the prophet Micah, who spoke truth to power when leaders ignored the suffering of the poor. So when we organize, when we take direct action, we hold leaders accountable. We're not stepping outside our faith, we are stepping up and living out our faith. Our faith traditions teach every person is created in the image of God, and that means that life is sacred. We are called to welcome the stranger and protect the vulnerable. Leviticus 19:34 reminds us, "The stranger who resides with you shall be to you as one of your citizens. You shall love them as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt." Tonight, we also lift up the voices of our immigrant neighbors, people who bring life and resilience to our communities, yet often face fear, uncertainty, and barriers. These are our families. These are our friends, our co-workers, and our neighbors. Their contributions strengthen our communities and our congregations, and yet too often they are treated as if they're outsiders, as if their humanity were conditional and expendable. Supporting justice and safety for our communities does not mean abandoning the rule of law. It means creating systems that protect human dignity, respect families, and allow people to live without fear. We are talking about our undocumented neighbors who in many cases have no criminal record, whose primary violation is being present without proper documentation, which could be considered a civil violation. Some even began their lives in the U.S. with documentation, but fluctuating federal law changed their status. For some perspective, and in principle, thousands of people are being criminalized for situations similar to their everyday infractions many of us commit without a second thought. Yet the consequences they face are more severe. Many PACT members are afraid to attend their churches on Sundays or their times of worship and attend this evening. Many of them are afraid to attend this evening's assembly for fear of immigration enforcement. That is not right. So now, for a little crowd participation, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I want you to stand if this applies to you. So I want you to stand if you've ever driven 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. I want you to stand if you've ever failed to use your signal or indicator when making a turn. I want you to stand if you've ever crossed the street without using a crosswalk, or you might have forgotten to pay a parking ticket. Well, look around, everyone. Almost all of us have committed some form of civil infraction throughout our lives. Yes, you may be seated. Most of the time, we don't even realize it. But whether our response is just, the question before us isn't whether the law matters, but whether our response is just, proportional, and aligned with the values we claim to uphold as people of faith. That is why PACT has been working with the Florida Interfaith Coalition to support our immigrant neighbors by holding prayer vigils and advocating for fair treatment of our immigration neighbors. If you are interested in getting involved, please contact one of our PACT organizers, or you may contact us by emailing us at info@miamipact.org. Now to the business of hand. In the book of Micah, chapter 6, verse 8, we are reminded of what is required of us to do justice, not to talk about it, not to wait for someone else to act, but for us to do justice. And those same values are echoed in the founding of this nation. The very first words of the United States Constitution declares, "We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice." We the people, not we the powerful, not we the privileged, but all of us. We are the people. We are those people. As we approach the 250th anniversary of the United States, we are called to reflect on those words and what they truly mean, and whether we're living up to them or not. Are we building one county of God? Are we establishing justice in our communities? Well, here in Miami-Dade County, the answer is clear. We cannot claim justice if people cannot afford a place to live. That is not a distant problem, family. That is happening right here, right now, in our neighborhoods, in our communities. And that is why affordable housing is our central campaign this year. Because housing is not just an economic issue, it's a moral issue. It's about dignity, it's about stability, it's about whether people in Miami-Dade County can build a future for themselves and their families. It is about the future of our county. We, the people acting for the community together, must have a unified voice if we want to make positive change for the well-being of all Miami-Dade community members. We represent the entire county, from the northern boundary of Miami Gardens, Aventura, Miami Lake, to the southernmost points of Perrine, Homestead, Naranja, Kendall, etc. We represent the county. We, all of us in our various congregations, stand in solidarity with each other and all those other Miami-Dade residents, because if we do not organize, if we do not act, then we surrender our voice. And when we surrender our voice, those others, those people who act in their own self-interest, will make decisions on our behalf. But PACT does not stand by, PACT acts. We are PACT. We are the people acting for our community together. And together, we have already made a difference. So a few of those differences over the past few years. $2 million for an eviction diversion program, helping families stay in their homes during times of crisis. $17.4 million for tree canopy expansion, taking action to combat extreme heat and protect our neighborhoods. The adult driver's license civil citation program, community IDs, and so forth. These victories show what is possible. This is your work. This is what you've told us are the things that keep you up at night and the things which concerns you. They also show us something else. It shows that when we organize, we can win. We are called to hold ourselves accountable to act and hold those who ought to be acting on our behalf to be accountable for their actions. And now we must bring that same determination, that same unity, and that same urgency to the fight for affordable housing. Because if we do not act now, the crisis will only deepen. More families will be displaced. More children will be uprooted from their schools. More members of our community will be pushed to the margins. We cannot allow this to happen. We must not allow this to happen. Enough is enough. So the question is before us is quite simple. Will we step forward or will we step back? Will we stand up or will we step up? PACT chooses to step forward, and we have chosen to step up. We choose to fight for housing that is truly affordable. We choose to stand with families who are struggling to stay in their homes. We choose to demand accountability and real solutions for those in position to do something. We have helped to put them in their positions to do something, and so we invite them to do something on our behalf. And we invite everyone, every neighbor, every congregation, every community member to join us. This is why you are all here tonight, because when we stand united, we act together. When we lift our voices as one, we can achieve great things. This is our moment, this is our time, This is our responsibility. This is our democracy. PACT is democracy in action. We are PACT. We are PACT. We are PACT. We are PACT. Let justice roll.